Hello, and welcome to Issues, a podcast in which I, A.E. Stuvie, interview folks about their favorite single issue of any comic book ever. In this series, I'm going to meet with fans and pros to discuss not only why they like this particular issue of any comic that they're talking about, but why comic books are, in general, an important part of pop culture. If you would like to be my guest, let me know. I love hearing about everyone's issues. All right. Joining me today is a fan I met on Threads when I posed this question. All the comic readers out there, do you have a favorite single issue of a comic book? I'm not talking about a graphic novel. I'm talking about old school floppy. I have one that pops up immediately when I think of this. It's X Factor 87. You can read about it in a previous post on Substack. Robert Junker was one of the first people to respond. But before we get into what issue he picked and why he picked it, Robert, you care to tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with comics?
Hey, my name is Robert, and live in the Pacific Northwest. I've been reading comics for 40 years or so, mostly a DC guy. I do a little bit of Marvel. I like early Image as opposed to current Image mostly.
Mm-hmm. Like Spawn and Youngblood and
Not Spawn, Youngblood, Wildcats, Stormwatch, the original runs of those, Gen 13,
oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
classics.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's some newer books that I like, but for the most part, if you ask me if I'm interested in Image, it's the older stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I stopped collecting floppies a while back, and now I'm just working digitally
Hmm. Yeah,
because I need the space.
I understand, and I mean to be perfectly frank, $5 a pop for a for a comic is a bit pricey for my blood. I mean, I still get some like every
Yeah,
month, but well, not like I used to. I got the apps now because
yeah,
they pay for themselves.
yeah. I hear you there.
So you've been reading for a very long time,
Yeah,
and you mostly a DC guy, but you do dip your toes into
yeah.
other
Little Spider-Man, Little Avengers.
excellent, excellent. Okay, so for this show, what I like to do is, kind of build up to your number one issue. So one of the questions I asked Robert before he agreed to be on, or after he agreed to be on, was give me your two runner-up comics. Like which two come right behind your number one? So before we get to number one, can you tell me about the two that almost made it to the number one spot and explain why?
Okay, the third spot is Brave and the Bold. Oh, was it number 38?
33 is what you told me.
33,
Yep.
33,
Hmm.
by J. Michael Straczynski.
Hmm.
And it's a spotlight on Wonder Woman, Zatanna, and Batgirl.
Okay.
And they go out for a night on the town. And wackiness, of course,
Of
ensues,
course.
but the ending hits you with a gut punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know anything about Batgirl,
Hmm.
you're it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You're like, oh no.
Okay. Okay. So this comic came out in 2010,
Mhm.
according to my research. So it's 15 years old. So I think we're safe to spoil things at
Okay.
this point. So if you want to share like what the gut punch is, I think that would be great. I will be sure to put spoiler warning on my little blurb and everything so people know that there will be spoilers. But go
Okay.
ahead and spoil it.
Zatanna wakes up with a premonition of something about to happen.
Hmm.
So she talks to Wonder Woman. They get Barbara Gordon. They go out for a night on the town. They have fun dancing
Hmm.
and stopping a couple of bad guys doing some stuff.
Hmm.
And at the end of it, you realize it's her last night before she gets shot by the Joker in the
Oh,
Killing Joke.
oh.
Yeah. So they wanted to give her a night out on the town to have memories of.
So, so Zatanna, did she know that was going to happen specifically, or just like something bad?
It's been a little while. since
Hmm.
I've read the issue, but I think it was just a premonition that something bad was going to happen, not necessarily what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's a solid choice. I like that. I love when stories do things like that. Do you watch movies at all? You a
Yeah.
horror fan?
Not really a horror fan.
Oh, well, do you know the Final Destination series? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where
I've seen those.
they avoid death, or have you seen the latest one?
No, I haven't seen the latest one.
So the latest one is like part five, right? And just like any horror franchise, the further they go along, the more ridiculous they get.
Oh yeah.
But the latest addition to the franchise, through the whole thing, you think it's just a continuation of, what's been happening. Oh, death is mad because you avoided death and he's going to kill you all. That's, that's the elevator pitch, right? Um, the fifth movie ends with the survivors getting onto the plane that crashes in the first movie.
Oh wow.
And I was like, okay, okay. Like
I
that
have to see
twist.
that now.
Yeah, like I love it when writers do that sort of thing. Like it's the same concept with the Brave and the Bold 33. Like you think it's one thing, and then at the very end they just punch you in the gut and say, "Nope, this is what it really is." That's good stuff. Kind of harkens back to uh The Lottery. You ever read The Lottery
A
by
long time ago.
oh
Mhm.
oh my gosh. Who wrote The Lottery? I can't The Lottery. Shirley Jackson. Do you remember it?
Mhm.
Like, you think everybody in town is just having a good time and it's a lottery and somebody's maybe going to win something at the end. Nope, joke's on you. Somebody's getting stoned to death. What? Okay, sorry. That was a long way for me to say solid choice. Okay. So that was number three. Number two.
Number two is In Dreams I Fly, issue number one of Astro City.
All right. And that's Kurt Busiek and
Music and Brent Anderson. Yep.
excellent. With, like I said before the recording started, a beautiful Alex Ross cover.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what is it about this one? What did it for you?
This one is basically their Superman Samaritan.
Hmm.
Can do anything, he could have anything,
Hmm.
but the only time he gets peace and quiet, time to himself, is when he sleeps.
Okay.
In dreams, he's just flying. He's not worrying about saving anybody or fixing anything. He's just free.
Oh, I love that. Like you get to see a superhero. I mean, I know you get to see superheroes in downtime a lot in comics, especially, today, but like to see him like completely separate from everything. Like if there was no planet to save, this is what I would be doing. And I think there's something like wholesome about like what he would be doing is just flying around.
Yeah. In the issue, there's actually a little countdown thing where it's like, you know, zero point 0.3 seconds from Astro City to Buenos Aires where I
Mhm.
stopped a hurricane, and then zero point 0.7 seconds over to Boston where I put out a fire, always clocking his day, seeing how much he can do
Hmm.
to help things.
And it's just constant, right? Just this and then this and then this. Yeah, that's really when a superhero story can humanize a character like that, which it sounds like this is what this did. That's gonna pull me in really, really quickly. So solid choice. Was that?
Absolutely.
Okay, good deal. All right. So now, without any further ado, give us your number one and tell us why.
The number one issue is Astro City One Half by Kurt Busiek, Brent Anderson, and a great cover by Alex Ross.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So why what puts this one above, I mean, number one? Like what? Because this
Well,
half came out after one, right?
yeah, it came out like 3 years
Yeah.
later.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is it?
Ah, it, it's a story of a man who remembers a woman,
Hmm.
doesn't know where he knows her from, doesn't know how she knows her from, how he knows her from. He's calling family members and friends from school. Hey, do you remember this girl?
Hmm.
Can't get any answers. He's going crazy. He can't sleep. It's affecting his work.
Hmm.
And then one night, he gets a visit from the Hanged Man, a supernatural protector of Astro City.
Okay.
And he explains to him that there was a crisis, basically, a world and time altering event.
Like a la Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And because of that, her grandparents never met because of just one event that was shifted. Her grandparents never met, so she was never born. And that was his wife.
Oh.
And he still remembered some of the things from the first reality to the rebuilt reality
Oh.
after the event was done. Not everybody does, but some people do, and it can affect the timeline.
Hmm.
So the hanged man said, I can give you a choice. You can either remember, which after the hanged man had explained everything to him, he did, or I can make you forget. And he said he wanted to remember. And then just before the hanged man leaves, he asked him, how many people choose to forget? And the hangman just says, no one.
Oh. Oh.
And it was just right there.
Yeah.
The look on his face, that being Michael Tennison's face, not the hanged man's face,
Yeah.
but the look on his face, the mood, the lighting of the image of his face was just fantastic.
Hmm.
It just sucked you right in.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds wow. This is like a love story. It sounds to me like.
Mm-hmm. Kind of. And they also managed to encompass a whole crossover event, a whole, superhero wide
Hmm.
battle inside of one issue that wasn't even as big as a regular issue.
That's another, that's I love it when a comic, 22, 23 pages can do something that profound and that big in such a small space. It's one of the reasons why X Factor 87 has always stood out to me because, you know, they're very floppy is very tiny and to put so much story doing it so well in such a tight space is skill both from the writer and the artists, right? Just
Yep.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. That sounds like a really solid choice.
Yeah.
Anything else about it?
Yeah. Well, they also did a follow up.
Hmm.
Last three issues of Astro City that they did were another story about Michael Tenisick,
Hmm.
uh, the guy from Astro City One Half.
Hmm.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, and it was basically a follow up of what he's doing now.
Hmm.
He's running support groups for people who have lost loved ones or limbs due to superheroic events.
Yeah.
And everything's going fine up until somebody asks him, what did you lose?
Oh. Oof.
And, it's like, how can you prove, since they don't remember the event,
Hmm.
how can you prove that losing somebody you were married to is the same as losing a son 2 weeks ago?
Oh.
You know? So,
That's that's amazing stuff.
mhm.
That's amazing. This is a
Yeah,
solid choice.
it
You know,
didn't hit quite as hard as that as the one half issue did, but I still felt that one.
hmm. That's amazing. It's funny that you're bringing up all these Astro cities too, because um, in my survey, a lot of Astro City has popped up from
Mhm.
various people. Like I think somebody else even did half was their favorite as well. So I'm going to talk to them too. It'll be cool to see what they say compared to what you say. Um, but yeah, those are great issues. Any last thoughts about any of these or comics in general before we call it a day?
Nothing I can think of right now. Just read more comics.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much, Robert, for being here. I'm glad you could be part of this.
Thank
Uh,
you.
hope you stick around, follow, like, rate, all that fun social media stuff.
I will.
Excellent. Don't forget, tell your friends, send them my way on Threads. I'd like to get a full season of 10 episodes out there before probably before the end of summer. It's going to take a minute to get everything together, but yeah, thank you so much. Hope to see you again.
Absolutely. See you around the threads.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.